All right, this is going to be an oral assessment, and one question will be asked to each student. Yes, the first question goes to roll number, okay, roll number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you understand by one word substitutions? Please give 2 examples. One word substitution, and why is it important?
Yes, ma'am. One word substitution means we replace the whole sentence or a phrase in a one word.
What is the importance of one word substitution?
By one word substitution, when we use one word substitution, we can replace our words. We can use less words. By less words, we can say our words, what we want to say.
All right. Can you give us an
And
example? Can
yes,
you give us
ma'am.
an example?
Like omnipresent, who is always present, is omnipresent.
Yes. One more.
Omnivorous, who eats veg and non-veg both.
Okay. Make a sentence, no?
Yes, ma'am. He is omnipresent person for me.
He is
An omnipresent person for me.
okay. One more example.
I am an omnivorous person.
All right. Pratay Prakash.
Yes, ma'am. I am audible, ma'am.
Can you explain what are idioms and phrases? What are idioms?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am means idioms and phrases. 2 minutes, ma'am. Ma'am, how? अच्छा, in Hindi or in English?
Pratay, English.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, idioms, ma'am. It means, ma'am, the ma'am, a drop. It as, for example, ma'am, idioms,
No,
ma'am.
first to define what are idioms and phrases, and what are its importance for that.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. मैम द मतलब मैम वर्ड्स मतलब समूह क्या बोलते हैं मैम सॉरी इसके इस मैम idioms are the words which we use for idioms are the word which we use as a part of a sentence and just like as for example ma'am drop in the ocean the Hindi meaning of drop in the ocean means ma'am oot ke muh mein jeera and we can explain it by the sentence that the government effort to meet refugee problem are but only a drop in the ocean and there are many idioms that you also taught in the class that is at a loss the Hindi meaning of at a loss means ma'am at a loss means asamanjas mein in many time we can say that you teach many thing and you ask in the class that a question but we are in the at a loss what we can say to the teacher yeah ma'am a piece of a cake this is also an idiom these all are the example which you taught in the class.
All right, roll number 9. It's on your camera. What are the rules that you know for effective communication? What are the rules for effective communication? And why is it, and what is the importance?
Number 1 is complete, correct, coherent, courteous, concentration, clear, concise. These are the rules of effective communication, and in day-to-day life, effective communication is very helpful for us. If we talk with anyone very effectively, then our communication is very powerful. So, I thought effective communication in day-to-day life, effective communication is very helpful for us, and it is very important.
Roll number 49. Problem number 10. What is paraphrasing? How will you define paraphrasing? One minute. 1 minute. Yes. You've been asked the definition of paraphrasing. How will you define? Can you give an example? Any one rule which you have understood?
Written something in your own words.
Yes, give an example.
I'm sad and sorrowful.
Okay, make a sentence.
I am sad.
I am sad. Paraphrase this. Change the synonym. I am sad. I am unhappy. I am sorrowful. Right. Do not change the content, but change the word only. Okay. Problem number 3. What are the 7 C's of communication? Are you online? Okay. Speak in the camera. Yeah. Yes, continue. Yeah. Define clarity. Why is clarity important in any communication? Okay. Give an example. What happens when the communication is not clear? Others are, it becomes a barrier. And try to speak technically, when we are not clear in our communication, there comes a barrier, and a barrier hampers communication, hampers our messages. So complete information is not generated, and that may cause major disaster. That is a clarity in business communication or in any communication is very important. For example, now when I asked you to give example, give examples. Like for example, if there's a doctor is speaking to a nurse, if the doctor is saying, give this injection to room number A, and the patient of room number B should be discharged. All right, and the message was the message was incomplete. There were 2 persons in room number A, and there were 3 persons in room number B. So the message was incomplete. The nurse could not know what to do, and when she called up, the doctor did not receive the call as he was in an important meeting or performing some operation. So a lot of things went wrong, could have gone wrong. Supposing this really happened, then what? The patients were waiting for the injection, which was life-saving. The person who had to be discharged, he was waiting to be discharged. And there was a lot of problem in the clinic. So this is what happens when the complete information is not given. It can cause a lot of disaster. You can reverse this. Discharge the person in room number A, and in room number B, shift him to the intensive care unit. So she reverses it. The person who had to be discharged is sent to ICU, and the person who had to go to be put in ICU, he was discharged. So you may understand what happened after that. Naturally, the person was so critical, and he was asked to go. He died. So a lot of things may happen. So when I ask you to give an example, think of a story. Think of a story instantly. No, because I will always ask you to explain. And in business communication or in any subject, with explanation, with examples, you are able to understand and you are able to make yourself clear. Okay, this is what clarity means. Complete information. Always, and how will you do this? When you are taking information from someone, always ask for recap. Okay, supposing somebody asks you for the telephone number. So you spell out your telephone number and then you ask, can you please repeat what you have written? Or the doctor should have asked the nurse, did you understand? Please tell me what is the instruction. And if there is anything which is amiss, then the doctor will clarify. But do not assume whatever I say once you will understand. Do not assume, do not take it for granted. कि मैंने एक बार कह दिया है और समझ में आ गया होगा. समझ में आ गया होगा फिर भी पूछिए. Did you get the instruction? Okay, what did you know? What did you understand? Tell me. And if he says yes, to room number B, I will have to shift him to the ICU, and room number A will have to be shifted to the discharged. That is why we say, write down, written instructions are very important. And in business communication, the importance of written communication is much higher, much more vital than oral. Because the information is written. Nobody can change that. That is quite clear. Patient A, ICU. Patient B, discharge. Okay. Even if you're not talking to the person, you receive the message. There are a lot of advantages of written communication. That becomes a record, and that cannot be changed. Did you understand? Now, students, whenever I ask for you to explain with an example, come up with small examples, short examples, so that people may understand, so that you can be clear Clarity in thought generates clarity in speech. If you're clear over there, you are clear in your words also. But if the gray matter is here, you cannot speak. Roll number one. Not here. Roll number two, already done. Three done. Roll number four. Yeah. Roll number one. Okay. Sit down. Are you logged in? What is the importance of business English? What is the importance of business English? Define what is communication. According to you, what is communication? What is communication? Roll number one. Yeah, I'm sitting here to give you some marks. Huh? Say something. What is communication? I gave you one question. Either answer this question or what is the importance of business communication? Answer either of the two. Roll number one. क्लास नहीं भी किए थे तो कम्युनिकेशन क्या है? What is communication? Answer this. I give you a very general question. For example, give him some information. The person sitting, your friend sitting next to him, give him some information. Communicate. Communication is a process, isn't it? What is the first thing? It is a process. How do you start any conversation? Sit up. Roll number 5.
Yes, ma'am. Already done.
You already done.
Yes, ma'am.
Roll number 6. Keep your cameras on. Roll number 6.
Ma'am, roll number 4 is here.
Roll number 4. Yeah, come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Roll number 4. Keep your cameras on. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the process of communication? Anybody can answer? What is the process of communication?
Ma'am, 7 she.
Excuse me?
Ma'am, 7 she. Ma'am, process of communication, transformation of ideas and interact with the person.
No. The process of communication. Anybody in the class?
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yeah, of course.
Ma'am, first one is the sender who send the message, then encoding process is done, then message dispatched from the sender, then it decodes, then it comes to receiver. and then receiver gives the feedback.
Very
It's the
good.
process.
Very good. Keep your cameras on, otherwise you will not be marked present today. So there are only a few students who will be marked present. Those who are online, those who are offline, they will be marked absent 100%. But when you're online, you need to keep your cameras on. Otherwise, I don't know whether you're in the class or you're sleeping somewhere, or you've just logged in
नेटवर्क
and
इशू है मैम.
gone off. Yes, roll number 4. The process of communication starts with ideation. Otherwise, Anisha was perfectly all right. First, you think of something to speak. Please write down, students. If I have not given you this information, technically, so I thought you knew it because you're second semester, and all these must have been done in the first semester, and you must have forgotten. The process starts with ideation. It means an idea comes in your mind. Ideation, I-D-A-T-I-O-N. Idea, ideation. Then comes the encoder. Encoder means the person who is talking is the encoder, the transmitter of information. Encoder. Ideation. Supposing I have to say something, there has to be an idea. There has to be information which I want to share. First the idea, and then the person ideation, and then thinking of a channel. How will I speak? Will I speak to them in class? Will I speak to them on the phone? Will I speak to them on the WhatsApp group? Will I speak to them on social media? Will I speak to them face to face? Will I speak to them by writing a letter? So I have got various of choices. These choices are channels. Face to face, email, telephone, writing letters, messages, emoticon, via media, Facebook, Messenger. So these are the channels. I will choose the channel. First ideation, then the encoder, the person who will give the message, and then choosing a channel. Once I have chosen a channel, I will think of someone to speak to, and I will speak to you. I will speak, if I'm speaking to you, you are the decoder. It means you will understand and then give the feedback. So after channel, it is the decoder, the person who receives the message. Encoder who gives the message, decoder who receives the message. He encodes it. And when the person is giving information, he should be very particular about the language. Supposing this is not a French class. I'm not teaching you French. So I will not speak to you in French. I'll speak to you in English. So there are a lot of people who still do not understand English. I will have to speak with them in Hindi. So the person who is encoding the message should be very particular that he will encode in such a way wherein you can understand. Decoding gets easier. It's possible. So encoder, sender, decoder, receiver, and then comes the feedback. The person listens and then gives you the feedback. The feedback can be in verbal or non-verbal communication. The feedback can be
Feedback, ma'am, good.
The feedback can be yes. The feedback can be, did you understand? This is the feedback. The feedback can be no ma'am, not understood. Feedback can be just gestures, smile. Supposing the person who is encoding, he is smiling. The first message is a smile. So it is quickly understood by the decoder and the person smiles back. So this is communication. And this is the process. Encoding, channel, decoding, feedback.
चैनल सिलेक्शन का मतलब क्या?
First channel, so you have to select. So a couple of years back, this was in their first semester examination. Write the communication. What is define communication and discuss it, the process. And the students could not write because they said class में syllabus में नहीं था इसलिए नहीं हुआ था. लेकिन ऐसी बात नहीं है. Syllabus में जो नहीं भी रहेगा, and what is important to you that will be taught to you. And there was one more question: what are the barriers of communication? The student did not know how to answer this question. So can anybody answer what is the barrier? Now between encoder and decoder,
It is
if there is a noise, this is the barrier. Barrier can be from the encoding side. If I'm speaking very softly, you are not able to understand. My message can be complete, but then my message is not heard. Then what happens? If I'm very slow, if I'm very, my volume is very low, then you may not understand. Then the encoding, the barrier will be from the encoder side. Now, supposing I'm speaking clearly, I'm attentive, I'm loud and clear, but the person who is decoding, they are chatting with each other. They have not understood. So when they ask, yes, you, yes, ma'am, what? मैंने क्या किया? तो आप जाने नहीं कि मैंने आपको क्यों बोला है? I was calling you to give an question to you. No, even if you're sitting in the class and you're riding horses, you're not attentive. That is a barrier. There are a lot of barriers from the encoders side and number of barriers from the decoder side. Not attentive in class, not attentive, not able to understand because of poor vocabulary, incapable of decoding the message. Environmental barriers, fans, loud music somewhere, technical problems, internet connection, technical issues, glitches all over may happen. You may be disrupted by a phone call. You may be disrupted by somebody, some important emergency happening, and you may have to rush out. So these are the barriers, technical barriers, cultural barriers. What are the cultural barriers?
हिंदू मुस्लिम.
Cultural barrier क्या होता है पता है?
प्रणाम
करते हैं, नमस्कार करते हैं. The Americans क्या करते हैं?
Yes, they are the cultural behavior.
Handshake.
Yes, ma'am.
We touch the
Yes,
feet.
ma'am.
They will not know what is happening. An American visiting India, when she sees people are all the time touching the feet, they will be amused. What is happening? Why do you do that? So the lot of barriers. Yes, what's your name? Your roll number? 85. 35. Are you online? What are the rules for paraphrasing? Now, I want examples, like changing synonyms, fine.
Today I'm happy. Today I'm glad.
Today I'm happy, today I'm glad. What are the other rules here? Fine. Okay. What are the other rules of paraphrasing? Mhm. Like
That way, we the way.
yes, you roll number 34. Make a sentence with communicate and communication. A verb and a noun. Yeah, communicate, communication. 2 sentences only.
Communication, firstly, we need ideation.
No, make a sentence with communicate.
It's the ideation.
Okay,
It's the
okay.
sentence.
All right. Nice.
Second was communication.
Second,
Second word.
communication. And communicate.
It was somewhere outside, then we have to communicate between each.
And third question, what is the difference between and among?
And between is for comparison. And among is, if there is a group, then we are talking about that group.
And between is a comparison.
Yeah. If there is a comparison,
Are you sure?
see,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Do you agree, anybody in the class? Between and among?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No, no, ma'am.
somebody says no, ma'am. Yeah, sit down. Okay, what is it? Anybody who
Ma'am,
can answer will get a grace mark.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay,
Ma'am,
1 minute, yeah. Exactly. Between, though. No, compare. There's nothing compare. Between two people, amongst, between the whole class, maybe 100. There is no barrier between us. There is no wall between us. मतलब हम दोनों के बीच में कोई wall नहीं है. There should be no barrier between the teacher and the student. Two only, the teacher and the students. Did you understand? Amongst और लोगों में, the prize were distributed among the students. And in between, share, both of you, share this. मतलब, it was a secret between us. But it cannot be a secret amongst. then it won't be a secret. It will be out of the bag, right? All right, then that's it.